Hi internet people! This Fangirl Freakouts is about my favorite DC superhero ever. Okay, so this week, Batwoman Rebirth debuted. Okay, so if you aren't aware of the current DC lineup, ta-da! They just did, originally they'd done New 52, and then after, I think, like 2 years, don't quote me on years, they decided to do something called DC Rebirth, where they would restart some of the series using some New 52 stuff, but it's a new set of comics. So they've been rebirthing a bunch of characters, and as part of the DC Rebirth this year, Batwoman is getting her own solo comic again. So Batwoman had a solo comic during New 52, and a little bit before that, but she had not yet had a DC Rebirth title. She was in DC Rebirth Detective Comics, working with Batman and his team. He recruited her, she was helping with some stuff, and Batwoman Rebirth, I'm just going to keep flashing this comic on and on, is a spin-off of Detective Comics. So there was a storyline involving Monster Venom, and it was called The Rise of the Monster Man. I read it. I also read Detective Comics because Batwoman was in them, and I also love Batman and the Batman universe. Most of my pulls every week are Batman comics, but I was super excited for Detective Comics because Batwoman was in them. Okay, so Batwoman spun off of that. The last two Batman comics were focused on Batman. Last two Detective Comics were focused on Batwoman and her story, and what's happening in those comics was Batwoman, if you don't know her backstory, is Kate Kane, who is technically related to Bruce Wayne. The Kanes and the Waynes married. They're not married. Anyway, but they're a related family. So they are cousins. But she didn't originally know that Bruce was Batman. It's just a convenient happenstance. So Kate Kane in the DC universe was a West Point cadet who was discharged from the army because it was discovered that she is a lesbian. She could technically have said, no, I'm not, and lied, but she quotes the West Point pledge, which is you shall not steal, lie, da, da, da. But she told the truth, which meant she was expelled from West Point. And while her whole goal in life had been to be part of the military, her father, oh my gosh, I always screw up his name. I always just call him Kane, or he's like Dad, because that's what she calls him. But he was part of the military. Her mother was actually part of the military, if I remember correctly. She has a very tragic backstory herself, but she had wanted to be part of the military because her sister and her twin sister and her mother were all three of them were taken, and they were killed in a kidnapping plot, and so her whole goal had been to be part of the military so she could help people, and then that didn't happen. And so when she was expelled from West Point, she goes on this sort of discovery time. There's sort of a lost year within the period where she's not at West Point, she's not in Gotham again, and Batwoman Rebirth is going to relate back to that lost year in Kate Kane's life. So she went to an island, which is specified in here. We're going to read it to you point blank so that I don't screw up. I'm going to screw up the pronunciation. Coriana? The island of Coriana. It's not a very happy island. They're like assassins and murderers, criminals. It's like a crime island, but in Batwoman Rebirth, Kate Kane is going to have to go back because apparently Monster Venom is coming from there, the source is there, so she's going back to that place that we have not seen her part of in the DC universe yet. So she'll be going back to the past, some stuff from her past will be coming back up. The Batwoman Rebirth comic is sort of like a super condensed setup for her about to come out series. Ooh, cannot talk. But so it highlights some moments from her original run in DC Comics, or her run from New 52 and a little bit before that. They're all behind me and I was going to pull them all out so you could see them, but it would throw off my whole setup. But it's Elegy, Hydrology, To Drown the World, I can't remember all the titles, but there's a whole run of Batwoman comics and it has little clips from all of those. So Batwoman is just an amazing character. She's so cool. Apparently she's 27 in Detective Comics, which I had no idea, and there's totally a teaser for Kate Kane in the future. But I had no idea she was 27, which makes me smile / feel slightly disappointed in myself because I'm not 27 yet. I will be 27 this year though. Okay, but she's barely 27 in the comics, fun fact. So, what Batwoman Rebirth does is condense down some stuff so you have a general idea of Batwoman's characters and stuff outside of Detective Comics. So that's really cool. If you want more Batwoman, you should definitely check out Elegy and that whole run. Elegy is before New 52, I believe, but it discusses her sister, and you see her briefly in Batwoman Rebirth. You also see her relationship with Renee Montoya and Maggie Sawyer. Yes, because there is a Maggie Sawyer in DC Comics, Sandverse fans. She just was not dating anybody in Supergirl. In Batwoman, Maggie Sawyer is Kate Kane's girlfriend for a period of time. It's really cool. They are adorable together. You will see. It's so good. Batwoman is such a good comic, and I love Kate Kane so much. She's literally my favorite. Like, I had never read any of her stuff, and then I found all of it and just read all the things, and now I am just super ridiculously excited that she's getting a solo series again. I'm so literally excited. This was so good, and it made me so happy, and it like hinted at stuff I had already read, and I was like, oh, I love all of those storylines. She's so cool, and she's a queer lady. She is a lesbian. She has relationships. She also has epically cool hair in this comic. Fun fact. But I don't know, Batwoman is amazing. She's also part of my sort of New Year's resolution. I don't know. I'm gonna call it a fitness goal. My whole like 2017 mantra so far has been body like Batwoman. So I've been working out and trying to do some like more physical stuff to like get fit. But yes, I'm just super excited for Batwoman Rebirth, and I needed to share. And hopefully sometime this year I will also have a Batwoman costume I can show off to you. I totally have a red wig in my closet, but I do not have the like a proper cowl. I don't have the right outfit, but it's going to happen. It will happen. If you want to see more Batwoman, one, you should definitely check out her Batwoman Rebirth issue, just in general. It's really cool. It will make you very excited to read her new stuff and her old stuff. The old stuff is really awesome. She's also a character in Gotham City Sirens, and she's one of the core characters. She's on a baseball team called the Gotham Knights. But anyway, that's all the stuff. I'm just super, super excited, and I need to share because this is a Fangirl Freakouts where I freak out and get excited about things like Batwoman Rebirth and the fact they're going to be Batwoman solo comics. Okay, I'm going to be done freaking out for a little bit. You should definitely check out Batwoman Rebirth. I will link the DC Comics page so you can, like, find out how, well, the price is on the front, but so you can find out when it comes out, where you can get it, stuff like that. Alrighty. Let me know what you think about Batwoman or DC Comics in general in the comments below or on my Twitter at CleffNotes. You can find me on my blog, cleffnotes.wordpress.com. I write for the Nerdy Girl Express, thenerdygirlexpress.com. Run their Snapchat, the Nerdy Girl EXP, and I post recipes to the iZombie on the iZombie support group site, iZombieSupportGroup.com. Bye, Internet people.